Hello, everybody. Welcome to Expert Tips for Gmail Settings. My name is Maximus McCullough. I'm a full stack developer at A1 Website Pro, and I'm here to help you with your Gmail. To get to our Gmail account, we go to mail.google.com or gmail.google.com. So let's type that in here, gmail.google.com. When it comes in, we just put in the email address. We'll use the one we created yesterday, Maximus B. McCullough. Then we just put in our password. Now, once we get into our Gmail, we can see that this is the layout. But we can change the layout in Gmail to what we like. Now, what I want you to do is focus on the button right there. In the little gearbox, let's click on it and go over these settings. So let me go right here, click on the gearbox. And the first thing you're going to see are these apps in Gmail. We'll get to those later. But right now, I want you to focus on this density setting. We have comfortable and compact. Now, the difference between comfortable and comfortable is a little bit wider, and compact puts everything together a little bit more. Now, it's just a slight difference, but as you click on it, you could see the difference. So here's compact, and here's comfortable. Compact, comfortable. So you see the difference. I kind of like spaces around my stuff. It makes it easier for me to see and to read, so I'm going to leave this on comfortable. Now, the next thing you're going to notice are these themes right here. There's literally thousands of themes, and you could customize them all to what you like. So let's go ahead and go to the themes. We can select these ones. These are just like quick selects, and if you click on these pictures here, notice how the background changes in your Gmail. You have these different images. And if you don't like these images, you could go to the View All page. So we'll click View All, and you could scroll down here and pick something that you like. You can actually upload your own photos, and we'll get into that later. But make sure that after you found a photo that you like, that you want to use as your background, you hit the Save button. And now you have a different theme in Gmail. You even notice that the icons change. So that's how you change your theme in Gmail. And when you want to get back to that, after you click Save, you'll notice our little window is missing now. So let's go ahead and click our little gearbox, and we're right back to where we need to be to continue on in this tutorial. Now, let me move myself this way so I can get out of the way. Okay. Now, we're going to start talking about the inbox type. How do you like to read your email? And if you scroll down in this little pane over here, you can see that you have an inbox type of default. If you want to read your important labels first, your unread labels, starred labels, your priority inbox, or multiple inbox, and we can customize those. But I think that it's pertinent that I describe what each one of these things are. Now, the default label, this is what comes in every Gmail box. And this just shows the layout. What tabs do you want across the top, and how do you want to separate your mail? So you'll notice these tabs across the top: primary, promotions, and social. Well, there's two more tabs that you can put in there. And if you select the Customize button here, you can see that you can also add updates and forums to this inbox. Make sure that you click Save whenever you're done, and you'll notice now you get updates in the forums tabs across the top there. And so if you join any forums and you get emails from forums, they'll put in this label, forums, or this tab of updates, this tab from social media, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. This is just promotional stuff. Maybe you get stuff from Harbor Freight, Office Max, so on and so forth, Walmart. And then primary, this is kind of like where all your personal mail comes in. Now, this layout here is what I like to use in my Gmail. I like having the folders across the top. But if you don't, and you want things like straight down, and you want your unread first, or your inbox first, or your starred first, let me show you how to do that. once again, click on your gear box. And whenever you scroll down here, you'll notice it has a label called inbox type. And if you want to read your emails that you mark important first, well, you would just select this. Now notice how the layout changes over here in your Gmail. You're getting this label here called important. Okay, so it's just going to show you the important, and then below important, it's going to show you everything else. Maybe you want your unread mail to be the stuff on top. Well, if that's true, you could select unread first. And now you notice that you have a label of unread here. So all the unread stuff will be on top. Maybe you want your starred emails to be on top. And so now those emails that you starred will be on top. Here's your priority inbox. Maybe you want that to be on top. And if that's on top, you can select that setting. Or if you want multiple boxes on top, you can also do that as well. Maybe you want your is starred or is drafts. Maybe you created a draft and didn't send it. Okay, let me set this email back to the way that I like it. So I'm going to click on my gearbox and come back here to default. And now I have my labels across the top. I think it's important that I show you guys how to mark an email important and how to star an email. So let me do that. What I'm going to do is on my other computer, I'm going to send a couple emails from a couple different email accounts and have them come into this one. And then that way I could show you guys how this is done. Okay, so what I did was emailed myself a couple emails from different email accounts that I have. And now you can see them in here in the inbox. This one comes from Maximus Up Close, this is a personal email account. And this one comes from Maximus McCullough 29 at Gmail. Now let me show you how to star an email. The process is real simple. You see these two emails I have coming in here. This star outline, if I click it, it will be filled in with a yellow color. Okay? Well, what does that do? All that does is that puts those emails into a starred label. And if we go over here to our starred label and click on it, we can see that we have those two emails in there. Now, if I unclick the label and then I click on starred, you'll notice that I only have one email in starred. So basically, that's all it does. But what about the important label? You know, the important label is kind of like how we whitelist email addresses. As they come into our inbox, we want to mark them as important or unimportant if they're unimportant. But you notice that whenever we go back to our inbox here and I open up this email, there's nothing here where I could say, okay, well, I'm going to mark this important or not. And if I go over here underneath my labels, you notice we have an important label. And we can see this one right here is marked important. But why can't we mark these emails important or not important over here? Well, let me show you how to take care of that. We're back at our inbox here. And whenever we click on a box, tick on a box, you're going to notice some labels coming across the top here. Okay? This one right here with the three dots, you want to select on them and click Mark as Important. If the email is already marked as important, for example, in this one right here, let me select it. We'll unselect this. Click those three dots. Notice our option is mark as not important. So this is kind of like how you whitelist email addresses coming into your inbox. Now, what that did is it marked those specific emails important, okay? Because you could get a lot of emails from the same person. Some of them might be more important than others. But what if you wanted to mark every email coming from certain individuals as important? Let me show you how that's done. So here's an email that we starred and we also marked important. But we want the future emails to be important as well and be put in our important label. So So what we'll do is click on these three dots. And where it says filter messages like these, we want to select that option. Now, the next thing that we want to do is give it some parameters. What are you looking for? But we only want it to look for Maximus Up Close at Gmail. And we want all these to be marked important. Well, who it's coming to doesn't matter. It's just coming to Maximus B. McCullough at Gmail. I don't care about the subject, but if you wanted the subject to contain some characters before it goes into the important label, then maybe you want to define that. Any parameter that you define here is going to be like a rule. Like, okay, well, it has this, so we're going to put this in the important label. Or it has this, so we're going to put it in a different label. But what we're going to do is come down here and select Create Filter. Now, whenever the email comes in, this is what I want to be done. So any email coming from maximusbmccullough@gmail.com, I want it to be marked as important. So let me crawl down through here. Never send it to spam. Always mark as important. And now notice never mark as important has become unhighlighted. And then, so I would also want to apply this to one matching conversation. But now the future ones that come in should all be marked as important. And you know what? The other thing that we'll do is we'll go ahead and give it a star. And I'll send an email from my other computer to this one. I'll send 2 more emails coming from Maximus Up Close, and we'll see what it does. So let me select Create Filter, and we'll go back to my inbox. Click it one more time, and here we are with my labels across the top. Now I'm going to send 2 more emails. Let's see what happens. Okay, I just got done sending the 2 emails. They're in the inbox right away. And here you can see email 1 and email 2. They're both starred, and you can physically see that. But whenever I tick on the box and I go up to this more, notice how mark as not important is one of the options. That's because these emails, whenever they come into the inbox, are marked as important. They're whitelisted. I want to hear from this person. So I never want to send it to spam. I want it to be starred. I want it to be marked important. This is all whitelisting your emails at Gmail, so you get the information that you need. Now, we touched on filters and labels a little bit, and I have a nice detailed tutorial, but I'm going to dive in right here and show you a little bit about arranging your labels on the side. Now, personally, I don't like to see all those starred, snooze, important whenever I first open my Gmail. So do you see where this less tab is here, less and more? I kind of like to have the only thing really up there that I want up there is my inbox, because that's the only thing that matters to me. So what I could do is I can open up this more, and this draft I'll drag down into the less. My sent mail I'll drag into the less. The important I'll drag it down into the less. My snoozed I'll drag down into the less. And then maybe even my starred. And now whenever I open up my Gmail, I'm not going to see all that. You see? So it keeps the things hidden because it's kind of confusing to me. I like the comfortable style where we have the spaces. I don't need to see all those inboxes. The only thing that's important to me is my inbox itself. And I have these labels going across the top that's separating them for me anyway. So why do I need those labels over here? That's my reasoning. You may prefer something different. I don't like confusion. I like it simple. But if you ever want to put those labels back in there, you can. Open up the More tab, and let's say that you want the important labels up there. Just drag and drop it. And now when you close it, you're going to have your inbox and important. The only thing that you can't drag up there are the personal labels that you create. And we're going to get into this next. But first, let me take that important out of my inbox. Okay, let's focus down here to where it says labels. And we're going to have a plus sign. And maybe we'll call this Maximus. Just give it my name. Because all the emails that come from Maximus might have 5 different emails. Well, I want to put all those emails in one folder and have it be one label. So if you can kind of think of a label being a folder, it's the same thing. You're throwing everything in this folder, right? So we're gonna create a new label called Maximus. We're not gonna nest it under any label. We could if we had a parent label, but Maximus is the very first label that we're creating. We can actually call this personal and then make another label called business. So let me just stick with that. We'll call this personal. And then I'll click create. And now you notice that we have a personal label here. So let's open up this email, Maximus up close, and we're going to filter all these emails and we're going to put it in the personal. So once again, these three dots, let's drop them down, select filter messages like these. Now, anything from Maximus up close, we want to create a filter. And notice where it says apply to the label, choose the label, personal. And then we want to apply it to the three matching conversations. Select create filter. And now let's open up our label. And here we have our three conversations. So it's just a great way. Just imagine if you had bills, bills coming in, you don't want to mix them up with spam bills. How many people are getting fake bills from UPS and Walmart and all this? Well, you can filter all those, and it's also a good security feature into a bill folder or a bill label that you have on your side there so that you're not getting those emails confused with spoof emails. And so that's a great practice to have. So you can have personal, business, and then within those labels, you can have labels. So for example, if I wanted to put Max, Harley, and David inside the personal one, I could hit plus, and then we could call this one Max, and I want to nest it under the personal, click create. Now you'll notice I have Max. Let me go ahead and create another one. We'll call it Harley, and we'll nest it under personal. And then we'll finally create one more, and we'll call it David. We're going to nest it under the personal one. Click create. And there you go. Now let's say that you wanted to color these labels different colors. So maybe David's, we could go ahead and give him a label of green. And you notice it turned green. Harley, maybe we'll give him a label color of tomato. And you see that his is tomato. And maybe we'll give Max a label color of blue. And you can see his is blue. So you can color it up, make it look however you want to. So that's how you can color the labels, name the labels, nest the labels, and filter the labels coming in from into your Gmail inbox. Now, we will continue on with future Gmail tutorials. And we're going to get in the nitty-gritty of Gmail. We're going to talk about the settings, setting up business email, and so on and so forth. But before we go any further, we need to talk about account security. Now, Gmail, YouTube, and a host of other applications that you use on the web are all integrated into Google. So that's why your one username and your password, basically your Gmail account and your password, are good for YouTube and these other things like Google Analytics, Google Search Console, so on and so forth. And so what we want to do is make sure that your account is secure. So what we want to do is bring up another tab here and go to my account, myaccount.google.com. And this will bring up your privacy and security settings. So if you go over here to where it says security, you can review your security tips. You can see your recent sign-in activity, and then you could see different ways that you could sign into Google. If you want to use your phone to sign in, you could turn that on and turn on a two-step verification. I highly recommend that you concern yourself with your Gmail security because there's all kind of hackers out there. They have all different kind of ways to try to get into your Gmail. But if you turn on these security measures, you're going to protect your Gmail account, and then you'll be protecting your bank account, your social media accounts, and so on and so forth. There's a lot of horror stories that people are experiencing right now because these hackers are just out there, they're on you. But that's how you get to your security. Used to be you could get to your security through your Gmail. You can't really do that anymore. So I thought that I should bring this up in this video tutorial. Just go to myaccount.google.com, and right away you're going to see there you are. If you click on the home, you'll see your name at the top here. You could go edit your personal information, your data and your privacy information, your security, and so on and so forth, and even change your password. All right, well, that's it for this tutorial for Gmail, and we're going to be exploring more Gmail features all this week. I'm going to try to have a new post every morning on the website, a1websitepro.com. Hey, if this video has helped you out, please give me a like, share, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it.